This is the Mobapad Chitu controller for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm going to tell you why this thing absolutely smokes the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller in just about every single way. What's up, guys? My name is LG and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe in the video. I would much appreciate that. And yeah, I said what I said. I love the Switch 2 Pro Controller right here, but let me tell you something. The Mobapad Chitu absolutely blew me away and completely demolished my expectations for what this thing can do. On top of the fact that this guy right here, I'll name it right off the top here, is 50 bucks. That's right. This thing comes in at 50 bucks, and this guy right here, the Switch 2 Pro Controller, is $100. Technically $90, but yeah, whatever. So this Pro Controller 2 is just about twice the price as the Mopad Chitu, and it's got a bunch of tricks up its sleeves that I bet you're not also expecting. Now, I do also have it in this pink color. We will unbox this in just a second, but before we do that, just to show you guys all what comes with the controller. But let's first talk about the specs and what makes this controller really special. Let's start off with the fact that it has mechanical clicky buttons all around the face buttons. The face buttons, the D-pad, the bumpers, and the trigger are all going to be this mechanical clicky style button that just feels really satisfying. If you have a mechanical keyboard, you know what this feels like, or a similar controller with mechanical switches, you know. They just feel really satisfying. Some people would say this is like an advantage. I really just like as well the dome switches that come on generic controllers or even expensive ones like this Pro Controller. I really don't mind dome switches at all. I actually almost prefer them in a way, but it's not like I hit the deal breaker either direction. We're going to get to these sticks in greater detail, especially when we compare it directly to the Pro Controller 2, but these are TMR glide sticks. What that means is TMR technology, which essentially, if you're aware of Hall effect, that uses magnets instead of friction to, make the stick inputs register. These use magnets, but these are on steroids. These are TMR Hall effect, which basically means that they're more sensitive and draw less power. So these things are incredible. They draw less power, they use less battery, and they are way more sensitive than any other stick on the market, at least currently. These feel really good. We will get to these in just a moment. And also the glide portion. If you're familiar with the Pro Controller 2, it caught on like wildfire with the fact that it has these really smooth stick gates where you can hardly feel anything when you're gliding around your sticks. And these, Mobapad has managed to copy what Nintendo has done. And actually, I can show you that in more detail in a minute. But yeah, Mopad is able to copy it and almost make it better. I wouldn't say it's any better or worse. It's honestly just about the same. But the fact that these are TMR and really responsive just really elevate these sticks. And again, we'll get to that more in just a moment. So this guy also features wake to sleep. We will get to that in a moment. There's some juiciness about the wake to sleep. There's also going to be the back buttons here on the back with the reprogrammable back buttons. It also supports PC, Android, iOS, I believe, all that good stuff, as well as being on the Nintendo Switch. It has NFC in here, so you can scan your Amiibos with this guy. It also has gyro, and I can say from experience, it really has juicy gyro. Like this thing, I was playing with this guy with Metroid Prime 4 on stream the other night. Make sure you guys check out my stream sometimes. Click that notification bell to know when I go live. I was really blown away with how good the gyro actually feels. It actually feels better somehow, and I'm not making this up. Somehow it feels better than the Pro Controller 2. I don't really know how they did it. It just feels better. As simple as that. It also features HD Rumble, which is really cool. It's last gen HD Rumble. It's not HD Rumble 2, but it feels really good. This is going to be an extra charge, but well worth the price. This is about an extra $15 add-on to the $50 controller, so we're talking about 65 bucks USD for this whole package, and it's got some nice RGB on the back. As you can see, we got USB-A and USB-C to be able to plug it in. Super welcomed addition. I really like the way that it charges the controller, and so you're never going to run out of juice. Oh, yes, the replaceable D-pad. We will get to the replaceable D-pad more in just a moment when we unbox the other one. And to top it off, there's a phone application that goes with this guy, so you can set some of these settings, the light settings, as well as some other stick settings and everything like that in a mobile app. All right, and let's unbox this pink version. Now, I think people are preferring the pink version over the other versions because it has the matte finish, which we will show you. Of course, to begin with here, you get your charging cable in here, which is a little dinky charging cable. It works USB-A, USB-C, as well as the other D-pad, the extra D-pad that is. But, it's a pretty nice experience. Full disclosure, I've been using this so this is just a re-unboxing just to give you guys the experience. But here's the pink version with the matte faceplate. Really enjoy the way that looks. This is my fiance's controller. She fell in love with the way this thing looks. I also honestly have fallen in love with the way this looks. All of these, and actually, to be honest with you, just to reference the gloss issue people are having, I think the white actually really works. The gloss and the white doesn't matter to me much at all. As you can see, it doesn't pick up a lot of light, but I'm under some studio lights right now, so you're going to see a lot of glare. You're under regular lighting with this thing, it doesn't really bother me at all, and in person, it's hardly noticeable. And also the best part about it, because it's white like this, it doesn't really pick up any fingerprints. Now it does, but you really just can't see them because it's on this white surface. You just can't really see it that well. So I really enjoy this one. Again, back to this one. Of course, this is the pink colorway. All, of course, the same features. This is the version that comes with the dock in the box. Of course, the one that's white one I have, this just came on its own with a dock separately. But the dock is kept right here in this bottom portion. Here's the dock for the pink one. It looks exactly the same, but of course, just pink instead of white. But it's transparent. The RGB is the same, so it's going to come through. And of course, has these charging prongs wirelessly. So, boop, you just pop it right on, and it charges up, and you're ready to go. All right, now that the other one's unboxed, we can take a look at these D-pads in comparison. So, of course, these are removable D-pads, as you can see right here. You can pop it right off with just about no issue at all. Here is the D-pad that is the regular, traditional D-pad. You want to put in the fat side up. If you're going to install this yourself, make sure to put that fat side. You can see, obviously, the top is a little bit fatter. Put that down on the top first, push down, boom, easy as pie. And this one's even easier to remove because it has all this to hold on to. But here is going to be your round D-pad. I prefer this one if I'm playing a 2D game. I know that's sacrilegious. People hate that. I think I'm actually favoring the traditional style D-pad more than this round one. But it doesn't feel bad at all. I mean, of course, the mechanical buttons make it feel less traditional to a rubber D-pad. But I mean, this is going to be fine. This is going to be more directional. This is going to be more loosely directional. You can hit your diagonals way easier with this one. It's going to be totally personal preference with these. But the fact it comes with both and are really easily swappable like this is what makes this really, really cool. All right, I got the faceplate off of this one, and I gotta say, that was incredibly difficult. Now, you can see here on the inside, there are these magnets on the inside that make this magnetically adhere, which is really cool and awesome. However, I gotta say, it took way more leverage than I was expecting and made me more comfortable to be able to get this thing off. I basically was starting from the bottom, and I couldn't really get it, so I had to do both bottom and top at the same time. Long story short, be very, very, very careful when you're removing your faceplates. It feels like it's clipped in even though there's magnets. But anyway, the reason we took this off is to get a better look at these glide sticks. Now, I think you can remove the stick caps, but I'm not going to try because it's really resisting. It does not seem like it wants to be taken off, so I'm not going to. But just to do the best I can, if you can actually see, if you look really closely in there, you can see that rubber, that rubber silicone that's in there to make the glide happen. It's really cool. It's the same kind of feature. Now, I can't do it with this controller, of course, because there's a bunch of adhesive with this, if you know, you know. But yeah, this has the same technology in it where there's like this rubber silicone around the edges on the inside that the stick actually glides around on. It's really, really clever how the Nintendo designed this first, and Mopad also copied it for about half the price. So kudos to Nintendo for inventing this. It's really, really cool the way this it glides around and feels. Of course, it goes on super easy. Makes me look like an idiot. But it's really awesome that the fact that these third parties are getting a hold of this technology and putting it in their controllers. Mopads the first, they might be the last, who knows, but this thing feels incredible, the way this glides around. All right, so comparing these two controllers, of course, this is what you want to see. This is the Pro Controller 2 from Nintendo. This can be the Chai 2 from Mopad, and they're almost identical in every way. I would say the ergonomics are actually better on this one. I actually prefer the way this one feels in hand. It's much more similar to the first-gen Pro Controller, which I actually prefer the first-gen Pro Controller in ergonomics compared to this one. This one, it's not bad, don't get me wrong, but I do actually feel some hand fatigue on this one after a while. I think it's just a little bit too small for my hands, just a little bit, the way they designed it. It's just a little bit more compact than the first-gen Pro Controller, and this one is a little bit less compact. They're virtually the same size in like the realm of space here, but I'm just kind of giving you my opinion of this one gives me a little bit of hand fatigue. Not bad, nothing really worth noting, but this one doesn't really give me any hand fatigue at all. Actually, it feels a little bit bigger in my hand. So if you got like bigger adult hands, this actually might be a little bit better, but don't get me wrong, I think kids will also be able to handle this one too. Like I said, they're pretty much identical in feature sets. They have the glide sticks together. This one is only better because it has mechanical switches and TMR, but they both have programmable back buttons on the back. This one has a little bit added functionality that it's a little bit easier to connect to like a PC or your phone or something like that on the fly. Of course, this one also has a removable D-pad. I didn't mention this, but of course there's charging ports on the top of both of them, the same way. There's no... Let's actually get to the pairing. This is a perfect situation to talk about the quirks, because on the realm, on the surface here, this one's actually better. It's got mechanical buttons, TMR switches, customizable faceplates, a customizable D-pad. So you might be thinking like, why in the crap is this one half the price? Well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Mopad was able to accomplish the fact to make this for $50, and this one is going to be closer to $100, depending where you're getting it. But I can tell you one thing. At least this might be more Nintendo's fault than Mobapad's, but Nintendo has a really cool feature where these buttons are usable in the software. So you can change what the GL, GR buttons do in the software of the Switch. They were kind of locked that functionality out, so Mopad doesn't have access to that. So you're going to have to use this down here settings button right here to be, or the app that the Mopad provides for free on your phone to be able to change what these do. And the other thing is that this one, you can save profiles per game. So like if you open up Fortnite, this one's going to have a different profile set when you set these back buttons. So like if you open up, like, let's say Animal Crossing or something like that. So this one that's kind of where it lacks a little bit. It might be a deal breaker for some of you. I know for me, it is pretty much a deal breaker because I really, really love how the Switch's menu just allows you to change these buttons on the fly and save it per game profiles. I never used back buttons before this generation. As soon as I got this Pro Controller 2 is when I started using back buttons because of how convenient and easy these things are to use. These traditional controllers with these back buttons, I'm not going to be using these. I'm going to set this to my Fortnite profile or like my FPS profile, where like this is going to be sprint, and that's about it. That's going to be about it. I'm not going to really mess with the back buttons any or more than that. There's also a macro button. Like I said, it actually uses a C button, but you see, it's not a C button. That's an M button. That stands for macro. So what this is going to do is just kind of trick the Switch into thinking this is a C button. So you're going to press the M button out of the box, and it's going to press the home button, going to go down on the stick, going to go over one to the right to click, or however many buttons it is, to go to the C button, and it's going to press A. But it's pretty funny how this works. It's just a macro. If you know how macros work, that's what it is. It's a macro for the C button. It's not a real C button. It still gets the job done, don't get me wrong, but it does it in a janky way, and sometimes if you're in a particular spot in the Switch's menu, it doesn't work as well. So that's going to be a little bit weird with this one. Speaking of weird, I have a clip of hopefully showing you on screen right now of how to pair this thing. So what you're going to do to pair this guy is press down the home button, and it's going to start blinking, and then you're going to go in the Switch's menu and you're going to just pair it like normal, and then it's going to pair just like normal. But then you have to remove the Joy-Con off of the Switch 2, and then the Mopad button is going to change colors to signify that it worked. So there's some like hackery going on with this guy to allow you to wake the Switch from sleep. It doesn't do it automatically. Nintendo's locked that feature down to only this controller. Even their first gen Pro controller can't wake it from sleep. But Mopad has found some weird trickery to be able to, for you to be able to kind of get through that. It works. It did kind of fail on me. One time I had to reset it up, but only one other time. It was when I was messing around with the app. It seems like when you mess around with the app is when this kind of maybe messes up and you got to repair it. I just got to say that's a really janky solution. It works until it doesn't. Nintendo, I assume, could like maybe somehow brick this from working, not the controller, but at least that functionality. It does it in a janky way, both the C button and wake from sleep, but at least it does it for now. So TBD in the future, if it somehow stops working, I'll leave a comment down below, I'll pin it and mention that to you guys. But for now, as of recording, it still does work. It's just really janky the way that they have it set up. And by the way, you might be noticing in this video here, on this white one, I have these stick caps with a skull on it. These are some really awesome stick caps. Of course, I don't mind the way that the stick feels on the Chitu here, but every controller that I use, even the Pro controller, I am using a stick cap from Savage Raven. If you guys have never seen or heard of Savage Raven stick caps, I have a whole video on it. I will link in the end of this video, and also in the description. But I love stick caps, so I didn't really talk about the stick caps in this video very much because every controller that I use, I am slapping on Savage Raven, formerly known as Skull & Co.'s stick caps. They are the best on the market. Maybe something you don't think about on a controller, but let me tell you something. Once you use something like this on your controller, you never want to go back. And on the top of the fact that the main complaint with stick caps is that they pop off all the time, these these don't pop off. And if you use my code Uncle Jeeb, you get 10% off on their website. So make sure to go down the description, get the stick caps. This is not sponsored by Savage Rage. I just love their stick caps so much, and it gets you guys 10% off. I think it's about $1 off because they're $10 for a pack of 3 the stick caps. So make sure to go check those out in the description. But yeah, this controller is incredible. Just raw horsepower. This thing is way better. Pound for pound is a significantly better controller than this Switch 2 Pro controller. We didn't really talk about drift in this video because I don't think drift is really an issue. It hasn't been an issue this generation, yet we're almost a year into the Switch's life. No issues with drift yet. That's TBD in the future. Maybe if we're having drift on all of our controllers from Nintendo in the future. But for now, this generation, we're having no drift problems. So I'm not really going to say like, oh, your Pro Controller 2 is going to drift, blah, blah, blah. If it was going to drift, we would already be seeing reports. We have not seen the mass reports. That was such a big story during the Pro 1 controller and the Joy-Cons from first gen that any hint of drift, we'd be seeing it all over the internet, trashing Nintendo because everyone loves to do that. So we haven't seen that yet. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But either way, on top, besides the fact that these are not going to drift like the traditional controllers will, the TMRs are actually worth talking about. These TMR sticks feel incredible. Not only do they feel incredible with the glide feature, but they also function better as well. Like I was mentioning in the video, they literally are super sensitive. So every little baby movement is just, you can feel it. And in the app that I mentioned earlier, you can also change the way that feels as well. So if you actually don't like the sensitivity, you can tone it down a little bit, add a little bit. I have a hard time ever telling anybody to buy this controller because at first I was telling everybody to buy this controller. I never actually made a video on this one, but I was telling people who asked me on the street, so to speak, like, get this controller. It's worth the money because of the sticks. And now Mopad has done the same thing, but better for almost half the price. This is my new recommendation. Do not buy this controller from Nintendo unless you really love the fact that they have the in Switch 2's menu, be able to change this profile, and each game has its own profile automatically saved brainlessly without you even thinking about it. As long as you're in the game on Nintendo's platform, it switches automatically. Really clever. Is it worth an extra $40 for that feature? That's going to be up to you. If I were you guys, I'd buy both of them if I had the money because, of course, they're both really good in their own rights. Mopad is just a little bit better, though. I got to say, they somehow out-featured Nintendo as well as undercutting the price by a significant margin. So yeah, Mopad Chitu, $50, $65 if you want this dock, which I recommended. It really does make it convenient to charge your controller, but it's not necessary, and it doesn't. You don't have to buy it either. So $50 for just this controller. Totally worth it. Mopad, you knocked it out of the freaking park with this thing. Yeah, I also reviewed the GameCube controller. If you guys want to go check out the video where I reviewed the GameCube controller for Nintendo Switch, I'm going to link that right here. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.